quick with this video. As you see in the title, this is Stranger Things Season 2 review. I'm done with all 9 episodes, which Netflix, we asked for more episodes. We didn't ask for 1 episode. We asked for more. But after watching this season, I'm glad I only got 1 because I got some stuff to say about this season. By the way, anyway, moving on from this, where to begin? Now, I'm going to get my grade out there already because I think this is going to stick. There's no way I'm going to rewatch these episodes again, I don't think, because this was not as good as season 1, and I'll explain in the video. But my rating as of right now is a 7 out of 10. It is a 7. You asked me what part of 7. It's a high 7. No, it's kind of like a low 7, like a 7.5, and I'll explain why. And you probably see it in the title, but too many plot lines. Not plot holes, but plot lines. There are not many plot holes in this season not even season 1, but just too many plot lines, I think. It will be the best title for this video and the best title in this video I'm going to talk about. Anyway, moving on from there, let's begin with the certain aspects they did in this season. First things first, the characters. The characters that returned. The actors, what can I say? They did a wonderful job. You could tell they have chemistry. It was their season 1, it's their season 2, and that is pretty much the strongest point of this show. If they were not as good as they were in season 1, I mean, I probably have a lot more complaints. You'd be seeing a 5. However, they are the main reason that I kept watching the whole show, and probably I finished it so fastly. Jim Hopper's back, Joyce, Mike, 11, Dustin Anderson, Will's friend, Lucas, Nancy, which I got a lot to say about her, Jonathan. But yeah, all the characters that came back. So let's focus on the main characters as of right now. Let's go in order with 11. 11, she's in the show, but let me use a comparison. If y'all see Transformers last night, and if you did, I apologize. I just saw it recently on DVD, so I can fast forward through a lot of shit. You know how Optimus Prime came towards the end, and he was only there for a good, roughly 10-15 minutes throughout the whole movie? That's kind of how it is with 11. She's only in the episodes, majority of the episodes, about 10 minutes. There are some episodes that are dedicated to her that she has more like those flashbacks, but roughly about 10 to 15 minutes. You're lucky enough to get 20, but those are flashbacks. There's one episode dedicated to her, which it kind of plays a part in episode 1. Here's the thing. In episode 1, this is a little spoil here, but not too much. They introduce another experiment, another person with psychic abilities. Her number is 8, and you think, oh, she'll come back in the show and she'll be a main focal point with the show. No. You see her the first 15 to 20 minutes of the episode in episode 1. You don't see her ass until episode 6 or 7. I assume, and that's it. And it's dedicated to her and 11. But they never talk about it until we get closer to it. And there's sometimes in the flashback they hint to it, but it's like subtly. Like you say to yourself, and you forget it to the point like, oh yeah, I remember you. You were in the episode 1, chapter 1, episode 1 of season 2. Where have you been? And you think, oh, she played more of a factor to the show. No, she doesn't. You don't see her till that chapter 6 or 7, and that's it. And then they take a whole episode dedicating to her. However, they leave you on a cliffhanger from a previous episode that you say to yourself, you don't want to see this. You want to see what happened with the other cliffhanger from the past episode, which I fast forward to that episode because I didn't care anymore. I was like, okay, I'm done with this. Y'all should have wrapped this up a little bit early. Why y'all took so long to get here? And that's a problem I have with shows. Like, show introduce something early on, and they'll come back to it later. Like, no. Do it now so we can get it fresh on mind. Because by the time, I'm already invested into the story you've given me. And that's it. But they didn't do that, and that's dealing with 11. But 11 was not in here as much. I really didn't see her in here that much. So Finn or Mike Willer. His name is Finn. Sorry, but Mike. Um, he doesn't do as much as he did in season one. Again, because this could have played a fact too, because he was also filming for what you call it, the movie It, which came out and was probably the best movie, one of the best movies I saw this year. Not the top, I would say the top five. It's really a good movie. I was surprised, and I'm not a big fan of it. Um, and it did very well at the box office. He didn't do that much because again he's still grieving over 11 and stuff. So he really didn't do too much. There's a new girl added to this season, and I kid you not, the girl was only there for two things. I forgot her name, but she was only there for to be with the black kid. Excuse me, the black kid, and to be in a love triangle. Now you think, oh, she's in a love triangle with Dustin. Now that's what you think, but no. That's the fool, y'all. There was a love triangle between Mike, 11, and the new girl. They only did it subtly, but they did it just for that reason, for her to do that. So plus 11 got pissed and made a trip because she got jealous. So I was like, ugh, whatever. Jim Hopper, he does a little bit too in this season. However, compared to season one, he didn't do that much. I mean, honestly, it just wasn't really that good. And the other character, Dustin. Oh, Dustin. Here's the thing about Dustin. So last season they had the creature, whatever, from the other world, I like to call it, and killed all these people. And Dustin knows this. So there's another creature that comes into his trash can, and he thinks the creature loves him. Well, honestly, when we get to the season like finale type of thing, I mean, I guess you can look upon it and say, yeah, he kind of did. But honestly, if you see that creature before and it reminds you of the last creature you kind of took on, the last one, would you A, keep it, or would you B, kill it? Dustin, my poor boy, did A. Now, it was me, I would have killed it. But, what do I know? That I thought. And yeah, Lucas. And we get to Nancy. Now, Nancy and her boyfriend, Steve, are having issues this season, which we all knew that was going to happen because in the last season they mentioned that Nancy was in love with Jonathan. And throughout the whole season, they play upon that. It took them, God knows, half the season to get to the point, and Jonathan and Nancy finally got together. But her storyline, she has to have a plot too. Like I said, everyone in this show has to have a damn plot. It makes no sense. But her storyline is she's trying to take down Hawkins Labs. But in this season, Hawkins Lab is not the villain. They're not the villain like they were last season. They're actually trying to help and fix the mistakes. There's this new guy who comes in. He's trying to fix the mistakes. And Nancy's like, we need to take them down and expose them for what they did. In actuality, Nancy didn't take them down. The fucking creatures took them down. They came in and raided the place and killed everybody. And I'm sitting there like, what was your purpose again, Nancy? For you and Jonathan to go out of town and just have sex and that was it? I didn't see the purpose of that. But that's what happened. And we get to the end of the thing, and nothing came through it. Nothing. Just nothing. Just nothing. Nothing. They did a lot of things in here that was very questionable. Like, yeah, it felt like, season one they had like two chefs, the creators, the Dumb Brothers, I believe that's what they call the creators, the brothers, the Dumb Brothers, or the Duff Brothers, I believe, whatever. They were the two chefs. In season two, it felt like they had 5 extra more chefs involved with this, and it just everybody wanted to do their own thing, and to me they all didn't mesh well together. I did not like how everyone had to had a plot to do. The problem is everyone had a plot in here. Every character had something to do, which in Einstein you don't need that. Season one, every character they have stuff to do. Matter of fact, everybody migrated into one thing to do, where everyone else has their own plot, and it's just too much going on. They had this new girl, and she didn't add too much. She wasn't bad, but she didn't do that much in the show for me to say, I want to see you in season two. What she did was, I don't want to see you at all in season two. Please move. Pretty much. And then they still play upon her best friend's death, which I thought they wrapped that up, but no, her parents were involved, and just it was weird. It felt like they were trying to wrap up what was going on in season one, and some of the stuff they could have wrapped up. They didn't really need to wrap up, like her best friend death. They could have moved on. Say they moved and move on to do something else. Great. We don't need that plot line. But they had to wrap up that plot line, and it just gave Nancy something to do, which Nancy didn't need nothing to do. Jonathan should have just focused on helping his brother, but he didn't focus on that, which they had a good brother bond early episodes, and they just dropped it. And Jonathan went on to do his thing with Nancy. Literally, he wanted to do this thing with Nancy. And, and the other kid, and the other one, her boyfriend, Steve, you feel bad for him because Nancy did him badly in front of everybody. And then, he wasn't a bad guy this season. Actually, it's like he found the Lord Jesus and said, thank you. And he just changed his persona around, and you feel bad for him. Where in season one, you felt bad for Jonathan. But in season two, you feel bad for Steve because Nancy let the shit go on. And we all knew that Nancy was in love with Jonathan. Which she lied and told Steve she loved him, but she actually loves Jonathan. Which is a stupid love triangle. I hate it. This season was everywhere. Do I hate this season? No. But this is nowhere better than season one. And if anyone out there said, well, I enjoyed this more than season one, fine. You have your opinion, but you can't say that the characters of season one were better in season two, which they're not. Some of them digressed. The kids, the best thing in this season was probably the kids, the interaction between them. The story was not good. Like, the story I just didn't care for. And okay, in this season, they make mention to pretty much the story and plot of the whole big bang. Now we see a picture, and we're thinking that's the end game to the season. No. We get to the season finale. That picture that the kid who had all these visions, who came from the other world with the creatures, he draws it, but it's for the next season. And I sit there and I said to myself, really? You could have just done it this season? Here's the thing. I'm going to wrap this video up because I'm going on longer than expected. This is what I wanted for season 2. Is 11 and the other experiments. The focus on the other experiment if there were other kids that were experimenting on, which we now know because there's number 8. So if there's 11 and there's 8, there gotta be more. So I was saying, okay, focus on the rest of the 10 or focus on the other 5 that's still alive or something like that. Don't focus on the other world creatures we saw the last season. You could play upon that, but don't really focus on that this season. Build it up for next season, and that be the wrap up of Stranger Things, because I'm hearing rumors 3 seasons and they're done, or 4, maybe 4, because I'm hearing rumors now. Because as soon as I put the thing on Netflix, episode 1, this thing was fucking Netflix told me we cannot find the episode, like it crashed, and I said to myself, oh my god, I bet people are like been watching the hell out of this shit. So maybe they can wrap that up, but I really wanted to focus on the other characters, and also. Ever since season 1, every one of these kids in this show, some of these kids in the show, they got a lot to do. For example, Jonathan, the actor who plays Jonathan, he is doing New Mutants. And in the season finale, you don't see him with everybody else. And I was sitting there, I was like, oh yeah, he left to do New Mutants. Because I guess they said, we don't really need you. Because Nancy, she's dancing with the kid, one of the kids. And I'm sitting there like, why are you dancing with? I said, oh, Jonathan was like, bye-bye, I gotta go do New Mutants. I'll see you later. I'll be back next season. He was like, I'm done. And I'm sitting there like, okay. Because the guy, Steve, they're not dating anymore. Because, quote unquote, Steve already knows. He ain't stupid. He knows that Nancy screwed with Jonathan. Smart man, he knows. And I feel bad for him in a way. Because season one, I was like, oh, well, if you're going to put these two together, then please don't do it in season two. Then you hear the fans like, you need to be with Jonathan. If you're not with Jonathan, I'm never going to watch Stranger Things again. And I said, all these writers are going to cave into that shit. And did they ever? They caved like a mofo. Boy, did they cave. Oh, did they cave. Oh, oh my God. You're probably saying, oh, you did not like Stranger Things season two. I did. There's some things they did good. Just the characters and the actors. But by God, this story was everywhere. Just too many characters had too many plot lines. If they, like season one had like, this is point A, this is point B, this is point C. We're going in a line, and that's how we're going to do it. This one was like A, B, D, E, G, F. Like, they were going out of the alphabet. They were just saying, fuck that. So I was like, ugh. The first one, they went in order. This one, they did everything else. And they gave every character different plot lines, which was just, they all didn't come together. And they tried to come together, but it was like, nah, dude, no. No, what you did in season one, you didn't do in season two. That's all I'm saying. As I said before, my grade for this is a 7 out of 10. 7.5. Actually talking more about it now, I really want to drop it to a 7.0, but I did enjoy the characters. They were a good thing. The story was kind of there. It was everywhere. 11, some people who were fans of 11 may not like this because she was not in here a lot. Thank God I wasn't a fan of her, because I would give this shit a 6 or 5. But she's not in here a lot. I just want people to know that she is not in here. And if you come in here for 11, by God, you better turn the dial to 5 because you ain't getting 11. Bad joke, I'm sorry. But as always, guys, like and subscribe. Peace. Have a Johnson day. And this video went longer than expected. Did not want it to. But yeah, this is my review to Stranger Things Season 2. Have a Johnson day.